So many times said it was forever. Said our love would always be true. Something in my heart always knew I'd be lying here beside you. On my own. On my own. On my own. You know, let me just say this. That white man, Michael McDonald, he sang the fuck out of that song, okay? Just in case you don't know who he is, too bad for you. I feel really sorry because Michael McDonald is someone you should know from the Blue-Eyed Soul world. And if you don't know that song, I probably think that you should stop listening at this point because On My Own by Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald is probably one of the quintessential hits of the community. And furthermore, what a great karaoke song. Hello. Hi. How are ya? How's your tickle? How's your pickle? Great. That's fantastic. You are listening to a Seat at the Table podcast. You know who it is. You know what the fuck it's about. It's that hot girl shit. It's your girl, hot girl Gail. That is me. I did discuss this with you that I will not be known by any other moniker for the rest of the summer. If you see me, you need to be referring to me as hot girl Gail. Or else, I'm not sure that I can properly answer and or acknowledge your presence. So, you guys, how are you doing? That is fantastic. As I speak to you, I am currently just trying to figure out how did this weekend go so fast? I know many of you probably thought, oh, she not gonna do no new show. She say she gonna be consistent, but she no be consistent. She gonna forget us this Father's Day. But here's a daddy's lesson for you. Don't ever in your life doubt me. Okay? Because we can't build no relationship on doubts, okay? Some of you have tried. Some of us have tried. Okay, so much for us to dig into this week, so let's just not waste a single solitary moment. First and most foremostest, you can find a Seat at the Table podcast on Instagram, and that's all one word, a Seat at the Table pod. You can find me, Gail, your hostess with the mostest, on Twitter. And that is at Galanda, G-A-I-L-A-N-D-O, at Galanda Adams. A-N-D-O, is it Galando? It's Galanda. Oh, so sorry. I don't know my A's from my E's, my I's from my U's, bitch. Okay. So that is G-A-I-L-A-N-D-A, another A, D-A-M-S. Yeah, right? Galanta. Anyways, I don't know. I can't spell right now. I've been having a little brownies with my brownies, a little smoky smoke, Sometimes that's how you do. Listen, there's no better way to wrap up a smooth, cool weekend than for you to just take it down. Have yourself a little smoky smoke, a little drinky drink, and just chill, boo-boo. Okay. Lots of stuff to dig into this week. First of all, how are you? I hope so. How's your penis? Oh, that's fantastic, honey. I hope it's hanging well. I hope everything's going well down there. How's your mother? How's your father? How's everything? How's the job? I hope it's great. Let's have a little sip, okay? Okay. So, it's been a pretty productive week. Has it been a productive week for you? I hope so. I had a lot of car trouble this week. And now, any of you that drive and not just drive like you have your license, but own a vehicle. You know that, honestly, and if you live in a major metropolitan area, more than likely their streets are shit, unless, you guys just live elsewhere outside of New York City, because in New York, the streets are a fucking mess, okay? But at any rate, these craters in the streets of New York City doesn't make it very much easy to own a vehicle like a normal human being. You have to be a savage. So needless to say, I've popped a few tires on my car. Once or twice. And I am leasing my vehicle, and I'm ready to give it back. So I'm also trying to figure out what that looks like. If you've ever leased a vehicle before, I think it's a really great financial option. I mean, everyone will tell you, anybody in the finance world will tell you, owning a vehicle, it's really kind of pointless because it's just going to depreciate in value. So you definitely want to assign yourself to something that's a little bit less severe in terms of the financial hit that you'll take. You'll pay off for this thing only to find out that what you've been paying for is only worth half at the end of the tenure of paying. So at any rate, I jumped into this little lease situation, which for the most part, to me, I've had no issues. I've had absolutely no issues with my lease. I think that the company or the car company that I have been working with has been pretty decent. What has not been decent is my inability to decide and or make a decision on where I'm going to go next. So more news for that at 4. At any rate. So this week was a great week. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Okay, honey. Everyone gather around. Children gather around. Mother went on a date this week. Yes, I am curling my tongue up to my top lip. Like, yes, very sheer. Like, ooh. And I just took my imaginary hair and flipped it for ya. Okay, I am now going to part my imaginary bangs and tell you about this date. First of all, he is lovely in terms of just respectability and really just a great I don't want to say too much. I think I'm already saying too much. Let me just say this. I had a fantastic time, and I've already had date 2 with this gentle fella. And I am looking forward to date 3. And, I just think that, like, I don't know about you. I know a lot of y'all want to just be hot girls for the summer, meaning, like, you just want to twerk that punani all over the place. And I am not just talking to the ladies. I'm talking to the gentle whores as well. I know you just want to twerk that punani everywhere, and that's fine. Listen, do you, honey. But let's be very clear. If you are someone who is looking for a long-term relationship, you have got to start driving towards that path. And denying yourself the ability to even feel that is one way that you will quickly not get to the point where you are in a respectable relationship, or whatever kind of relationship you choose to have. Maybe you choose not to have a respectable one. Maybe you choose just to have a real hoedown, and that's fine too. But for me, I am someone who, at this point in my life, I am looking for monogamy. And I am not looking for someone who is necessarily my equal in terms of socioeconomics. However, what I do know is that I would like for us to be able to do things together. So I guess a lot of that is going to be weighted on whether or not I guess maybe socioeconomics is a thing. Who are we fooling? But I'm also in a place where I want more than just the ability to go out and have a good time and fuck and come home. You know, I like companionship. I am. I'm not a serial dater. Like, I'm not someone who just goes around and just like fucks with a bunch of people. I've never really been good at that. You guys know, anytime that I've ever talked about having a host stage, it's been real short-lived, sister. And I think for the most part, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't know. I don't like having a bunch of different energies around me, because here's what I believe in. And you're entitled to believe whatever you want, but I believe that people carry energies. And some of those energies are not necessarily what you need in your life. And everyone is not also immediately forthcoming about all of the energies that they've been stirring up in their life. So I've always been cognizant that I have to limit certain energies, certain timing. If I sense that the vibration between myself and someone, whether it be a romantic or platonic or whatever the case is, familial, professional, whatever the situation is, if I feel like their vibration is just not where I'm at, I will be prone to limit my time with them. I'll always be respectable. I'll always be, kind, because I don't necessarily feel like there's a need to not be kind. But I also will just limit my time. But I am looking forward to my next, I don't know, y'all. I don't be coming out here and be telling y'all all of this stuff like, oh, she's dating, she's doing this. Only time I really am comfortable in talking about it is if I feel like there is some sort of significance there. And all I'm going to say is that I am happy. And I know I'm hesitant to even say that. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, no? I feel like it's crazy. I feel like it's crazy that, like, even at almost 40 years of age, I still am hesitant to be in a place of happiness. Like, I'm not comfortable with happy. I'm very comfortable with the negative energy flow, but even for me to say, like, oh, I'm happy, it feels foreign. It feels weird. It definitely feels weird. But I also like the feeling, and I gotta say that God has been showing up and showing out for me. So shout out to God. Shout out to Jesus, Devante Christ, always coming through, always pushing through with the blessing, always pushing through with the word, always pushing through with his hands on my life. Hello, thank you. All right, so who's ready to get into this week's crazy? It's so crazy, honey. All right, so how many of you have seen these people who have changed their avatars to the blue, marking their support or wanting to spread awareness about all that's going down in Sudan? I can raise my hand and say that I have seen it. I am not one of those people, but I've definitely seen it. I think for a lot, I can only speak for myself. Here's what I know to be true. I've seen it. I know that it is in relation to Sudan, but for real, the media isn't covering it like that. And I have been too busy looking for cars, completely and totally egoically immersed in my own life, that I had to finally decide for the show that I was going to go ahead and do my research about what is going on in Sudan. So for those of you who are not aware what the blue avatar is about, I'm going to briefly try to do my best and explain to you why Sudan, why we should give a fuck about Sudan. All right, let's take it back. Take it back about 30 years ago when a gentle sir who is named Omar al-Bashir, President Omar al-Bashir. Now, Omar al-Bashir became president in 1989 in Sudan. The people of Sudan were pretty much wanting the end